Hello, my name's Frederick Muikia, and for this hackathon, we'll be creating a personal finance application. So, just to begin with, we're gonna look at what we did with TiDB Cloud. So first we created a table, a database called finance with a table called transactions. And here in transaction, that's where we store all the transaction history that a user has. And then after that, we created an API endpoints where you're able to with different queries. So by utilizing TiDB queries and being able to create application, we're able to aggregate the data of the transactions. And here we're able to delete transactions in batch, put transaction in batch, post transaction in batch, delete individual transactions, put individual transactions, and post individual transactions. And we're also able to get individual transactions and also all transactions as a list. And then here, this is where it gets interesting. So here we're able to query all the transactions that a user has had, and we're able to just focus on the income that the user has. And then here we aggregate a little bit further and we're able to get the income by month. So where the user passes the date. So pass the date in this format and it's able to query and bring transactions that how much the user had, how much income the user had within the month. And then over here we have transaction by category. So we aggregate the data a little bit further. And here we're able to get all transactions and put them in batches of categories. So that way the user will be able to tell in which categories he's spending more and which categories he needs to change. And then we took out this, excluded these transfers because that's whenever the user is transferring from account one to a different account. So which is not necessarily an income, but it's just moving money within the same account, the user's accounts. And then here we aggregate a little bit further where we focus on the parent category. So there's like a huge category, which shows, let's see if I'm able to scroll here. So we have the regular category here where it says paycheck, income, interest, and then you have the parent category, which categorizes in income. Since all of these are either through paycheck or through interest, it's just any money coming in. And then here we aggregate again with parent category, but then here we are able to filter to look at all the transactions from the beginning of the year till date. And then from there, we grab that data. So now we created a simple Python application. We use Python to create this application, and where a user is able to see all the transactions. So we pull those endpoints. So TiDB has this cool feature where we're able to deploy this and we're able to pull them, we're able to access by getting these endpoints using an API key, using this endpoint. So we're able to access all of this, right? So it's basically like creating a whole back end for your application. And all we did here is just create a front end where we're able to see this. So it's just a simple application that it says, welcome to personal finance. This is the home page, and then the user is able to log in and log out. I'm not gonna log out for the sake of time. And then here, the first page, we have the transactions. So here the user can see all the transactions that he's had. And it's going by date. And then the user is also able to filter within a certain amount of days. And the user is also able to search for specific transactions. And here you can see, so this is a cool way for the user to track down, see all these recent transactions or transactions that he made within a certain amount of days. And then from there, the other page, we have the income tab. And here we get you can see all the income that the user has had in the last however many days. And the user is able to filter by month. So if I pick March, I'll be able to see all the income that I've had within March. And I can also search here as well. And then this is a cool part. So we have the upload transactions. So this is where a user can just upload. So right now we don't have the feature where you can connect directly to your bank account. So the user can just download these transactions from their bank account into a CSV file. And then from there, just upload the CSV file, open. And then once you upload, the application will read all the transactions and then load the transactions into the database, the TiDB database. So here, let's see. So you'll be able to see all the new transactions. So before that, we had, I believe, a little bit under 3,000 transactions. So now here you can see we added the new transactions and you can see all the details. So what the application does, it loops through the whole CSV file, reads all the transactions, and then assigns an ID. Since for the database, we have to have an ID to be able to map all the transactions, and it stores them into the database. And now the user is able to access all the transactions from here, but just a simple upload for the CSV, which is pretty cool. And then from here, now the user can see all the transactions by category, filtered by month. So if you go, say, in March, you're able to see how much you spent on transfer, credit card payments, rental car, taxi, and all those things. You can see your total income was 10,000, and then total expenditure is a little bit high. And then so you can see the total savings. So in that month, the user probably ended up using credit cards or something because it was negative from how much they actually made and how much they're spending. So they're not saving anything at all. If you look at a different month, you'll see the same thing. So you have the income, and then you have the expenditure and the savings. So what this the application does, it gets the income from the income API, and then it gets the transactions and does the math, subtracts the total income, the total expenditure, and the user is able to see how much they're saving. And then I also see the sum of how much you're spending in each category. So now the user knows where they need to cut down and where they're spending most of their money on. And then here we have by parent category. So the other one was category, like small category, but by the parent category, it just puts everything in large chunks. So you can see the pie chart where you can see the food income, food and dining, and categorized transfers and things like that. So here you're able to see the total income was that's total expenditure. So the user is spending way more than they're making, so they're just going more and more in debt. And then you can see this year summary. So from the beginning of the year, so you're able to see how much you've been making and how much you've been spending by each parent category. So you can see the total income, total expenditure, and total savings. And now here you're able to see how much you've been spending, total amount in each category. So now the user will be able to track down where they're going wrong with their finances, considering how a lot of people have been going in debt lately. This will be a cool application where users will be able to manage their finances and be able to tell where they're spending more and where they need to make some improvements. And the power of TiDB, where we are able to basically create applications by aggregating the data and creating endpoints. It's really a powerful tool and it's very fast and very quick. Yeah, thank you.